It's personal character assassination that seems to turn the public off first. And once they're turned off about your personality or the person who is giving the information, once you assassinate the messenger, then people don't even look at the evidence. And that's a shame. It's too bad that humans are so limited in their ability to grasp information. It's really a downfall of all of humanity. And we've been brainwashed into believing, more and more and more that what we've told or what somebody posts out there in the world as disinformation, the louder they scream, the more the public believes it and looks away. Well, when you're an individual like me who has limited resources and is up against this monster of a disinformation campaign, you can only do so much to combat that and stay alive. And when I say stay alive, I mean literally stay alive. I don't mean just in the public eye. I mean, people tried to kill you. People tried to hurt your friends and your family. And they physically have attacked us. I spent, months in the hospital because people tried to burn down a hotel that I was in and barricade the door of my room from the outside so that I could not get out. I've got damage to my body because of these situations and times that they've tried to literally assassinate me. And people come forward and say, well, that's a terrible thing, you need to go to the police. Well, you can't do that. Nothing normal applies in these circumstances. Sometimes the people who you think you should be able to trust are those who are involved with keeping this information, the reality of the information, the truth of this information, away from the public. That's why I've continued to talk about this as best I could. That's why people continue to ask me, Jonathan, why do you continue? Why is this going on? Because thousands of people have had contact all around the globe, thousands. And I've talked to thousands of them. I've documented thousands of cases all over the world, in some, 50 countries in the last 10 years. We've spent thousands of hours talking to people and recording them and asking them what they've found out, what their contact means to them, what kind of information they were given. And I've compiled a database of information, and we've started to learn from the similarities in these contacts, the information that has been given or discerned from these events over the last, 60, 70 years in people's lives. We started to understand that there are some parallels to information and that we have seen things come to pass that we knew we were told about previously. We basically were able to chart some of the future events before they happened. I'm the first one to say, look, I'm not a prophet. I'm not a fortune teller. I'm just one guy who had an event that ripped his life apart and then provided some unique circumstances that gave me the ability to start referencing what was going on and what was happening around the world. Okay? I learned how to interpret a lot of what is happening. I learned to start to understand what I'm being told and what other people are being told as well. Now, this isn't a dialogue. This isn't a clear language. This is a language of interpretation, of feelings, of ideas, of similarities of information. But we're being told some really unique things, some really important information about changes that are going on, not only within our world, but within humanity itself. Why humanity may be here. What our connection is to them, to the different entities that visit our space, our time, why they're doing it, why they might be doing it, and what are some of the struggles that are going on with this information. This is not clear, it's not precise, it's not concise, but it's a start. And if people don't start listening to people who have contact, then they're just going to keep looking at lights in the sky and being amazed by, lights in the sky. We need to be conscious of what we've learned. We need to be conscious of the importance of this information and apply it now within our lives, within our families, within our society, to try to save the humanity side of what's going on before it's too late. We're living in a fog of disinformation that the governmental type apparatus has spread across the world. We're being kept away from the truth. The truth that our consciousness, our connective ability, not only through humanity, but through all life, is the key. And we've lost sight of such a fantastic opportunity to be in touch with ourselves, with higher powers, with the Creator itself, is the power of life itself. If we don't reconnect, we've lost. And part of my journey is understanding this. Part of my personal efforts in all of this to understand what happened to me has proven to me that this connectiveness, that we are all part of something much bigger than ourselves. This is the truth I understand now. And it's not religious, it's spiritual and science at the same time. It's a connectivity between the two. Not everything is linear, not everything is logic, not everything is provable with hard evidence. But the evidence itself of the divine is there. And it's as tangible, as a piece of steel in your hand, if you allow it to be. It's as magical as life itself. And that's what we're missing. That's what a lot of us are being kept from.
The light beings, the embracement, I wanted to ask you about, you mentioned that it feels like it becomes a part of your whole essence. It becomes a part of your being. They become a part of you, you become a part of them, and it's like a connection.
Exactly. It's like they're inside of you before you can even start to qualify a question in your mind. They're already answering it. They're already part of you. And there's people that will say, well, that means they're controlling your thoughts. No, it doesn't. That isn't what I'm saying. What I'm saying is they are a part of your thoughts. They are a part of you. They're a part of your body. There's a connectivity to that embrace. Mankind has a limited vocabulary to try to interpret and explain the meaning of embrace or ultimate love. It's like the love from God reaching inside your soul, saying, we're with you.
Like
I'm with you.
Like a oneness?
A oneness, a completeness. Again, I think words are only limiting in this ability to explain it. We are truly infants in this time and in this place, I believe. I believe we are the new. We are the children of the old. Some people want to say we are the star children of these superior beings. Some people want to say we are the hybrids of them. I'm trying not to say yes to any one of those things, but say yes to all of them. Because I feel like a lot of that information is probably very accurate, but it's still incomplete. It's not any one only of those. It may be all of them. Are we part of them? Absolutely. Are we part of something bigger than us? Absolutely. Do our lives matter to them? Absolutely. Do they believe in a creator? Yes, absolutely. Do they believe in the divinity and the uniqueness of life, the sanctuary of life? Absolutely. They do. They care about all life, no matter where it is, how big, how small. Are there positives and negatives in their world? Yes, there are. Just like there's positives and negatives in the entire universe. For every good, there's a bad. For every positive, there's a negative. Are there wars of information of other races? Yes. There's wars going on for our very souls. But not in the sense of the devil, and hell. It's the fact that our lives are a temple of uniqueness, of energy, of fulfillment. And I think there are many different races who want to survive events that are coming. And the only way to survive it is to gather territory, is to occupy territory. And part of that territory may be us.
Yes, okay.
Maybe us as individuals, as our souls are collective. To save, to have some kind of control over us is a territory gathered. I don't want to get into anything that's religiously based, because I think religion and religious dogma can be disrespectful and can present disinformation. I think spirituality is the way to look at this. Your spirit, your energy, your life force inside of you is what is so important. And I've come to realize that is what they care for. That is what they're interested in. That is what they are a part of, and we are a part of them as well. Our lives are important to them, to the ones that I have spoken with, communicated with, exchanged with. Our essence is extremely important to them, possibly because it's part of them. We need to grow beyond the idea of thinking so shallow that we are the most intelligent creatures in the universe. We are only a part of the total picture of intelligence, this soup of life. We need to just understand we are a part, a fraction that makes up the whole, but an important part nevertheless. We can accept that if we just let go of the ego